So far today, there's been a very, very significant rainfall event that started yesterday night across the tri-state area and overall pretty much the entire southern northeastern portion of the U.S. There's been a very significant rainfall event, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to make a video alerting you guys about this previously since I was busy. But I guess I will make a analysis video on this because of how significant this event has been. So let's get into it. So if we look over here at our MRMS observed rainfall. MRMS is multi-radar, multi-sensor, basically takes together a lot of radar data and some satellite data to create some very useful products. Look at the past 24-hour rain. Currently it is 5:31 Eastern. This is looking from 5 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern yesterday. We can see that around Somerset County, New Jersey, 1.5 inches it's estimating. Santa Cross, North Jersey, Northeast Jersey is the exception, saying over 2.5 inches over there. Jersey coast, 2.5 inches. Getting close to 3 some parts of the northern coast, the south of Sandy Hook, maybe like Asbury Park and areas around there. And overall, I would say that New Jersey's actually got off very lightly on this event. When we'll look at why I say that very soon. If we look at coming towards Long Island, New York itself has really bad impacts with up to 6 inches on the east side, or not even, yeah, east side up to 6 inches. But we look at towards Queens, like moving closer to Long Island, that's where we got the really heavy rain. We look at Hempstead, Long Island. I believe that's Nassau County, Long Island. We see 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, excess of 8 inches in some areas, radar estimated just off the coast, a larger area that widespread at least 5 inches across this entire county nearly, it seems like. Over here, Hicksville, I've gotten some report from some family over there that the basement is flooded, and that would make sense considering it just rained 6 inches over there, is estimated by MRMS on pretty saturated soils already from Apulia. So if we move on to the radar real quick, I'll come back to the MESO analysis. If we just look at this event, I have only 200 frames I can show you easily. This is from 2 a.m. on the New York radar because the KDIX radar, Fort Dix, New Jersey radar, for some reason that it literally said KDIX has failed. ETR is unknown for the radar status message. It was broken for a solid amount of time since I believe like 2, 3 in the morning, something like that, and it just got fixed. It just came back online. So I'll be using the New York radar for this video. Another reason why the MRMS might actually be not as accurate across New Jersey, but let's just move on to the New York radar. We can see heavy rain already ongoing in that exact area that I was talking about that got the heaviest rain, Long Island, Queens, that area. Moving on to New Jersey, we can see North Jersey is getting a lot of rain, and so is just the Jersey Shore. Not really anywhere else in Jersey, honestly. We can see during this time, actually, over here, you see this heavy rain in Somerset County. I actually woke up because it was so heavy. And the funny thing is, in Long Island, it had been raining that heavily for a ridiculous amount of time, and we can see that it's raining into the morning. And look at what sets up over Long Island, even north into southern New York and Connecticut. This becomes ridiculously heavy rain, just like continuous nearly. There was quite a bit of a break there, but just look at southern New York and Connecticut. It's just continuous heavy stratiform rain nearly. And watch this around 10 in the morning, this fire hose literally just sets up over that's Nassau County, Long Island, as per my knowledge, just feeding into that extremely heavy stratiform rain in southeastern NY and Connecticut. And look at that, just the moisture is feeding off, going over there. And that's why this area, the Asbury Park area, Asbury Park vicinity, up to Sandy Hook, got some heavy rain because it was on the far western side of that fire hose. And we can see it was just feeding heavy rain, and now it's finally started to move eastward, moving some more heavy rain into other parts of Long Island. And thankfully, the rain seems to have ended for areas such as JFK, large part of New Jersey. Some more rain may be in the store, but it won't be as heavy. It'll be lighter. We'll talk about that towards the end. So this rain is still progressing. Rain is still ongoing across southwestern Connecticut and into Massachusetts, an area like that. Was not forecasted to rain this heavily across a solid amount of Massachusetts. So this event has already overachieved that in that case. But we'll see this event was actually very, very well forecasted. And any people who are going to say that this event was unprecedented, it's climate change is not good for our models. Like our models can't predict them. Climate change definitely may have played a factor in this event. We can't really blame a single event on climate change, but this event was extremely well forecasted. That fire hose I was telling you about, the only uncertainty here was where that fire hose was set up, but the entire region was on flood watch yesterday already, and the WPC had been saying there were excessive rainfall potentials all the way 4 days out. They were saying excessive rainfall potential. So this event was very well forecasted. So if we look at why this event actually happened, let's just pull up the surface analysis before we go into the deeper mesoscale analysis. This is from 5 a.m. today, 5 a.m. Friday, September 29th. Let's look at the surface analysis. So we can see dew points, mid 50s, lower 60s across the region from New York to southern NY to Long Island. I said New Jersey, my bad, not New York. New Jersey, southern New York, Long Island. We can see we have this kind of stationary front over here, and if you look at this this area of lower pressure extending northwards. So this is what we call an inverted trough. So our low pressure would be around here, a very broad area. But the idea is that low pressure is pushing northward in an inverted trough. Then generally we see low pressures with troughs that are something like this across like the central states. Trough going like this with the jet stream going around it, low pressure over here, and that those are the big scale storm systems. But the the inverted troughs aren't as strong of systems, but they can definitely cause some problems, especially with some stationary winds. So if we move on to the mesoscale analysis to see what is happening over here. So let's say 4 hours ago, right now even would be fine. We can see right over there, over even right now over here, there is a center of rotation almost. And if we just draw an axis here between to just detect the trough, the peak of the pressure isobars over here, peak of pressure bars isobars here, peak of pressure isobars over there. We can get a trough axis over here, and that's agreed on by these surface winds. To one side, they're slightly veered out of the west. One side, they're slightly veered out of the east, northwest, northeast. So very, very weak U vector winds. U vector is the east-west vector, and V vector is the north-south vector. So it really is just north-south wind here, and that kind of basically this system currently is not very really moving. It's just an inverted cutoff trough. Basically, there's no low pressure moving along. It's really only in the lower levels of the atmosphere, not extending into the upper levels. So that's why this was able to just sit stationary over these areas of Long Island. And where this trough axis would set up was key in understanding where the heaviest rain would set up. Because if you look at right now where that fire hose is, it's literally along the trough axis. So that was the only uncertainty that we had in this event. Besides that, we knew wherever this trough axis was setting up, we would have heavy rain. And if we just look at the precipitable water, if this will load up, I'm not sure why it doesn't. Yeah, here we go. The precipitable water is just surging in, 850 millibar winds bringing it in off the moist Atlantic, very warm, anomalously warm Atlantic. Warm air can hold more moisture, so very moist Atlantic, precipitable water moving in, moisture moving in with the 850 millibar winds. And if we look at the more of upper level winds, we have an upper level low over here, over Pennsylvania. And that also helped by just bringing some forcing, really. We didn't really have too much of the forcing. We had those slightly converging winds, but it was just really north-south at the end of the day, right? And I'm not sure why this is running so slowly. But if you saw that previously, we had our low over here, and we had the winds coming in like this. If you could follow my cursor, I'm sorry for this not working. I don't know what the meso analysis is doing right now, but we had these winds over here, right? When we have that jet exit over there, the 500 millibar jet exit around the base. Oh, here we go. It's back around the base of the trough over here. That's where there's divergence in upper level winds. We can see it's diverging, and diverging at the upper levels leads to convergence at the lower levels. That's a fundamental concept of the meteorology. And why is this reloading? And basically that's providing our forcing for convergence at the surface, producing that fire hose of precipitation. We'll come back to that if it loads up, but we don't really need it anymore. If we look at JFK, the amount of precipitation that's fallen there, 8.66 inches in the past 24 hours and counting. Not sure if it's going to rain any more than this, but that is bonkers. 8.66 inches in an urban area is ridiculous because of all the concrete out there. The impermeable surfaces going to cause a lot of flooding. I'm sure if any of you have opened up the news, you definitely have seen the images of the flooding in and around NYC and into the tri-state area, Connecticut area, something like that. Southern New York. There were some reports of landslides southern New York, I believe, and this is just astounding amounts of rain. 7.88 inches were recorded today as of, I believe, 2 or 3 p.m. at JFK, which is the preliminary record for rainfall in a single day for JFK for any time of year, any day of the year. It's just an all-time record. So when is this? Let's just look at the verification for this rainfall event. So this is from yesterday, HRRR model, yesterday's 8 a.m. run. And we can see literally where I showed you that MRI was just to the east of where that bullseye was. It is putting 14-inch rain totals, which again, that's a bit overdone, but we can see that it basically got that general idea. Yeah, this is going to be where that bullseye is setting up. We move to the next run, the 18Z one, 2 p.m. one. It moves it's wobbling little slightly to the west of where it happened, but it's saying again 14 inches in Queens, which it did not end up raining 14 inches, but still. We look at the last one before the event started, which I would say is probably the most accurate, nearly the most accurate. Not exactly, but nearly. This one would be more accurate in some expect. I would say it would be more accurate, but it was pretty overdone. If we just look at it by placement, I would say the 18Z run yesterday was brilliant. It was very well forecast. Just missed some spots across northern Jersey. We look at the OZ run. It's not as accurate, but it's still very, very accurate as per the bullseye. 6 inches, Queens, Nassau County, Long Island, which that verified 8 inches out there, looking like even probably more. These 8 inches just radar estimated. If we look at actually go back here, look at JFK. JFK, I believe, is like over here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. There's JFK. JFK, it says so says 6 inches, right? And they measured 8.66. So 2 inches, say if 2 inches there, could be potentially some places up here 10 inches have been received. If we can find a reliable measurement. Not sure if we can, but I can actually pull it up real quickly. I will pull it up real quickly to see if we can get that. Here we go. If we zoom in to the area of interest for us, where all these flash flood warnings are. Let's just get rid of these warnings, we don't really need them. If we display the precipitation, this is the NWS Weather Hazards and Data Viewer. If you guys just search this up, you'll probably get it. But it is very useful tool for me looking at event totals for things. Let's look at this here. Oh, 21 is definitely not right, but it gives you an idea of the scale of this event. Let's see, towards Hempstead and areas. Let's see, look at that, 9 inches down here. That seems pretty accurate. 8 inches over there seems pretty accurate too. Moving towards Hitswell, 5-6 inches seems accurate enough. Yeah, so I think pretty much what they've said is pretty accurate out of this. So basically, this event is verified very well on the HRRR and the MRMS. So the very well forecasted event and very well observed event is what we can say about this. All right, so let's move on to HREF. The HREF was another model. It's basically an ensemble of convection allowing models, which the HRRR is one of the members of this ensemble. Look at the 12Z run from yesterday, the 8 a.m. run from yesterday. It was forecasting, what is that orange color? 5 to 7 inches across Nassau County, Queens, NYC, parts of Monmouth County, New Jersey, moving into extreme southeastern New York, extreme southwestern Connecticut. Very well forecasted event, all in all. And let's just look at when this is going to end. This is the 18Z on the HRRR. So currently it is what? It is 22Z. All right, rain is wrapping up. The heaviest rain is wrapping up. Still some strong, heavy rain ongoing across Connecticut and Massachusetts, southern New York. Uh, Basically, we can expect this to die down by around midnight. Midnight would be over here. Still some areas of embedded like showery rain, but as the low pressure consolidates over here, we'll get more of a offshore low pressure storm instead of an inverted trough. So it'll be moving along. It'll be on its way. And yeah, all the rain should be gone except for maybe the Cape. All the rain should be gone pretty much by tomorrow. Maybe still a few showers, and but the Cape will probably be the last area to see rain. That'll be gone by Sunday morning. Not even Sunday morning. Sunday midnight should be gone. So yeah, please share anything in the comments. You guys have anything to say about this event and how it affected you. And I hope this video was informative. Thank you for watching.